What is cracking, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Noel here from Forging Strength. Today I would like to talk about a few mandatory things in my books that are very important when it comes to getting fat off, losing body fat, and keeping it off long term. Now, I by no means advocate for getting ridiculously shredded and maintaining that condition year round, but I do advocate for maintaining a relatively lean physique, being muscular, keeping some muscle on your frame, and just being overall health and wellness oriented, because fitness culture has made it such that we feel that we have to walk around being single digit body fat year round, and I do not subscribe to that. But I'll be giving a few tips today on the most important things to do when you're on a fat loss phase to ensure that you are locked in and to ensure that you ride the wave until you're able to eventually get to your goal. Let's dive right into it. The first thing I'll say to do is to weigh yourself every single morning. You wake up, and then after using the bathroom, you take your weigh-in for the day. Either write it in your notepad or you can type it on your phone in the notepad section on your phone, or you can write it physically in a book or something, some sort of logbook. The reasoning behind this is just so you could actually see the day-to-day fluctuations and you could emotionally detach from the scale. Because a lot of people have this scale phobia where they are scared of checking their weight every single day just because they feel like if it's up a pound, it means they've gained a pound of fat. Gaining a pound of fat means that you'd have to be in a 3,500 calorie surplus. And if you are actually eating in a deficit, the pound of weight gain that you're seeing on the scale is not body fat. It is water, okay? It could be food content that has not yet passed through you. It could be maybe you ate more sodium the previous day. It could be that your macros were skewed in a favor of carbs that particular day and your carbohydrates were slightly higher, and so you are holding more glycogen. It could be a myriad of factors. It could be that you trained really hard and your muscles are sore and holding more water. It could be stress. Okay, higher cortisol is linked to weight gain, typically because of water retention. So there are so many factors that come into play that might make the scale fluctuate. So you don't want to be emotionally attached to it. What you want to do is keep track every single day and then take a weekly average. So over the course of 7 days, you divide by 7. You take your weight every single day and you divide by 7, and then you pick that number, and then you keep it consistently as your weight for that particular week, and then measure it across weeks just to ensure that the weight is slowly trickling down and you are in a calorie deficit. The importance of weighing yourself cannot be overstated, because it helps you to know actually if what you're doing is working. What is not being measured can actually not be managed, and so it's important to track your weight every single day and then take the weekly average, and that is also going to help you to stay locked in. Another school of thought that I've learned over the years is also to just seek a weekly low. By seeking a weekly low, just one day in the week where your weight drops slightly considerably below what you're typically used to seeing on the scale, take it as a win, celebrate it, and keep pressing on. So that's the most important tip right there. The next thing that I strongly advocate for when you're dieting down is to focus primarily on lower volume training. I actually find, funny enough, that when I taper down my volume and my frequency during a fat loss phase, I actually tend to set PRs when I'm losing fat. So typically, if I'm doing more sets and more exercises, okay, per workout session, when I'm eating more, whether I'm eating at maintenance or whether I'm bulking, if I'm doing that, when I decide to enter a fat loss phase, I essentially taper down the amount of sets and the amount of exercises that I do. So it's typically about 2 sets per exercise, okay, and maybe 4 exercises per workout total. I'll pick 4 movements and I execute with precision about 2 sets each, and I'm done. Normally it's about 4 sets, 3 to 4 sets when I'm eating more at maintenance or when I'm in a calorie surplus. The reason is that there's research that is stating that when you're in a calorie deficit, okay, if you want to maintain muscle mass and muscle tissue, you only need about 1/3 of the amount of volume that it took to build the muscle, to keep the muscle. So essentially, all the extra volume when you're dieting down, you are in an energy deficit. It's not necessary. It's only going to lead to extra burnout. It's only going to lead to more central nervous system fatigue. It's only going to lower your willpower, which you can actually reserve for the dieting aspect, the nutritional aspect. Because if you are pouring so much into your training, your nutritional aspect is going to take a toll, because that's so much willpower reserved that you are depleting. So in my honest opinion, when you want to cut down and when you are relatively strong, even if you're not at advanced level of strength, what I still advocate for is tapering down the volume ever so slightly and focusing on slightly increasing the intensity of the workout. You would notice that you would be able to still eke out little bits of gains along the way, and then your dieting will be so much easier. Your fatigue levels will drop down and you see consistent drop in weight whilst maintaining muscle and strength. The next thing is that as a natural trainee, I do not advocate for eating 1.5 grams per pound of body weight in protein. I actually believe in a balance of macronutrients. If you're a natural trainee and you're not using any enhancement, okay, it's very important to eat a balance of macronutrients. Eat enough carbohydrates and enough fats, and keep the protein just at minimum levels. There's so many studies that are coming out. There's one that's being vehemently propagated now by Menno Henselmans, where he's basically talking about the fact that you could actually get away with eating about 0.7 to 0.82 grams per pound of lean body weight. So you take your weight, okay, that you think you are going to be lean at when you're done dieting down, you multiply it by 0.8. and that's your protein, okay? I'm about 190 right now at 5'10". If I want to cut 10 pounds maybe, or 15 pounds, all I need to do is take 180, multiply that by 0.8, and that's my protein. It's somewhere in the ballpark of about 130 to 140 grams. And if I'm cutting down on 2200 calories, that's giving me so much room to work with regards to my carbohydrates and with regards to my fat. And so my training efficiency and power output is going to be there because I'm not essentially on a low carb diet. And at the same time, my hormonal balance is also going to be regulated because I'm eating enough fat to ensure that my hormones are being, treated well, or my hormones are in a good place. And so that's the point I'd like to advocate. If you're doing things naturally and if you're not injecting anything, like I'm not, it's very important to ensure that you don't eat astronomical amounts of protein, okay? Keep the protein at the bare minimum to maintain muscle mass and have a balance of other macronutrients so that you are able to be more efficient even outside of the gym. Your day-to-day life doesn't suck, okay? That's the next point. My very final point is to make sure that you make walking a habit. Walking is probably the most powerful lever that you can pull when it comes to fat loss. If you're trying to get lean quick and you're not walking, you are absolutely doing it wrong. It's easy, and there's so many things that you could do whilst you're walking, okay? You could listen to a podcast and walk. You could talk to a friend. You could learn, okay? You could hop on, you could do so many things whilst you're walking. All you need to do is incorporate it into your lifestyle. So give yourself a step goal. I typically tell people to go above 10,000 steps. 10,000 steps is typically what people are propagating these days. But in my experience, if you want to get the fat off as quickly and as efficiently as possible, it's probably best if you are between 12 to 15,000 steps. That even 20,000 steps if you want it aggressively, and you're not going to lose any muscle. And actually, in my experience, 20,000 steps does not cut into training efficiency. I have actually noticed that I can do 20,000 steps and it doesn't affect my workout. And it doesn't even affect my appetite as well, as compared to traditional cardio, okay? Doing a bunch of running and jogging and high intensity interval training. No. Step count, 12,000 to 20,000 steps. That's the sweet spot. And manage your calories effectively. It will make no sense if you're doing 20,000 steps and you are eating all the calories back because you're not tracking. It's very easy to consume back the calories that you are not tracking if you are not tracking. So it's important that you get your step count in. Walking melts fat faster than any other thing. The more you walk, in my experience, the leaner you get essentially. And it also makes maintenance easier because You can just walk, okay, which will give you a calorie buffer, and then you can eat those calories back when you're maintaining. So if you're somebody with a larger appetite, if you are dieting on 22 to 2300 calories and you want to maintain, and you're walking a bunch, if you're doing 15,000 to 20,000 steps, that could be an extra 700 to 1,000 calories that you could add back when you are lean or when you get to your desired goal and maintain that body weight. So it's actually very important to incorporate walking in your schedule, fit it in your day, okay? Park farther away from the grocery store, okay? Pace around in your house when you're on calls. Go for designated walks at particular times during the day and such, and you see your body transform. If this video provided you any form of value, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm dropping videos every week, workout vlogs, informative content, and so stick and stay with your boy. It's Noel from Forging Strength. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.